Hollywood is known for its glitz, glam, and larger-than-life stars. But behind the scenes, many of the most famous names led secret lives filled with shocking twists, hidden scandals, and untold stories. Today, we're diving deep into the 25 celebrities whose personal lives were just as shocking as their on-screen personas. From hidden affairs to hidden battles, these are the stars you thought you knew, until now. Russell Brand has made a name for himself as a comedian and self-help guru, but behind the scenes, his life has been far from picture-perfect. Before his public reinvention, Brand struggled with serious financial problems that were concealed from the public. In 2017, rumors began swirling about his involvement in a tax evasion scandal, one that was believed to involve millions of pounds. This forced him to sell off personal assets and retreat from the limelight. However, his return in 2018 was marked by a complete transformation, with Brand positioning himself as a spiritual guide and author of self-help books. But many fans still wonder whether his new image is a smokescreen to distance himself from his past mistakes. Was this rebranding truly a way to escape his troubled past? Or was it part of a larger, hidden agenda? Despite his claims of seeking inner peace, there's no denying that Russell Brand's past is filled with financial chaos, risky decisions, and unresolved controversies that he's tried to bury. His efforts to rebuild his image raise the question: is he really changing, or is he just hiding something darker? James Dean is remembered as the epitome of cool, a rebel who embodied the spirit of his generation and rebel without a cause. His tragic death at just 24 cemented his legacy, but there was much more to the young actor's life than his brief time on screen. Behind his carefully cultivated bad boy image was a more tortured and complex individual. Dean's personal life was shrouded in secrecy, with rumors of tumultuous relationships and complicated emotions. What many didn't know was that Dean's secret life was filled with passionate and often secretive affairs. His relationships were kept hidden from the public eye, especially one with a famous actor that some say could have ruined his career had it been exposed. Dean's battles with his sexuality were long rumored, with some sources claiming that he struggled with his identity throughout his life. This secret, combined with his volatile emotions, led him to frequent episodes of deep despair, though he kept it mostly hidden from his public persona. His sudden death, resulting from a car crash, left many questions unanswered. What was even more shocking was how many people close to him never fully understood the depths of his struggles. James Dean's tragic end only cemented his mystique, as much of his personal life remains a mystery to this day. Hugh Edwards was once one of the most trusted faces in British journalism, known for his calm, authoritative presence on the BBC news desk. However, in 2017, a mysterious incident turned his carefully crafted image upside down. Reports emerged that a hidden camera had been discovered in Edwards' office, recording private conversations. Though it was never confirmed whether Edwards was the one behind the cameras, the revelation caused a media storm. The details of the case were murky at best, with conflicting reports from insiders suggesting that the footage involved high-profile political figures. What raised eyebrows the most was Edwards' decision to stay silent on the matter, which only added fuel to the fire. Was he caught up in a secret operation, or was this a scandal orchestrated to damage his reputation? Some believe that Edwards' silence was a calculated move to avoid further scrutiny, but the fact that this happened under his watch has left many questioning the integrity of the BBC and the lengths to which public figures are willing to go to protect their image. Even now, the incident remains shrouded in mystery, with few answers, but plenty of rumors that keep swirling around. Elizabeth Taylor, one of the greatest stars of Hollywood's golden age, is remembered for her beauty, her passion for acting, and her tumultuous love life. But behind the glamour, Taylor led a secret life full of both heartbreak and excess. While the world knew about her famous marriages, including her high-profile union with Richard Burton, few knew just how much drama occurred behind closed doors. One of the most shocking secrets about Taylor was her obsession with her own image and the lengths she went to maintain it. Rumors suggest that she had a series of clandestine procedures to maintain her youthful appearance, some of which were considered risky and not discussed openly at the time. She also had a propensity for secret, intense relationships that were kept hidden from the public eye, often involving married men or those who were otherwise forbidden. Even more shocking was her fierce determination to protect her children from the Hollywood spotlight, a challenge that was not always successful. Taylor's struggles with addiction, particularly her dependence on prescription medications, were also kept largely out of the public eye. Though she became a beloved icon, the truth of her life was filled with hidden battles and secrets that shaped her later years. Kim Soo-hyun, a beloved South Korean actor, built his career on portraying innocent, charming roles that made him a household name. But behind the smiles, there was a dark side to his success. In 2018, a video surfaced that shocked fans and left many questioning the true nature of Kim's glamorous life. The footage showed him attending an underground gambling event in Seoul, where high-stakes bets were being placed by wealthy, anonymous individuals. What was even more shocking was that this wasn't just a one-time affair. Sources close to Kim reveal that he had been frequenting these underground clubs for years. Despite his squeaky clean image on screen, the actor was secretly indulging in risky behavior that many fans never expected. The scandal rocked his career, with numerous brand deals being pulled and public trust in him fading. Kim, however, stayed silent, leaving the public to speculate on whether his true persona was that of a calculated, high-rolling gambler, rather than the lovable actor people thought they knew. The video only fueled more rumors, as fans tried to piece together the puzzle of Kim's secret life. Was his fame just a facade, hiding the real man behind a camera? The gambling footage raised serious questions about the pressures of fame and the lengths celebrities go to keep their darkest secrets hidden. Ava Gardner's beauty was legendary, but her private life was filled with mystery, scandal, and heartbreak. Known for her marriages to some of Hollywood's most famous men, including Frank Sinatra, Gardner's love life was anything but conventional. Behind the scenes, however, Gardner was reportedly involved in a series of passionate but deeply troubled relationships. One of the most shocking aspects of her secret life was a relationship with a European aristocrat, which was kept under wraps for many years. The romance was fraught with betrayal and manipulation, leaving Gardner in a state of emotional turmoil. At the same time, she became known for her wild parties and drinking habits, which were often seen as a way to escape the pressures of fame. But what shocked people the most was the emotional toll that this lifestyle took on her. Gardner's battle with depression and self-doubt was not known to the public, even though she was frequently seen in public with a bright smile. Her personal battles, both with the men in her life and with her inner demons, were mostly kept hidden, but the scars they left would last throughout her life. Ava Gardner's secret life was one of contradictions, filled with moments of glamour, but also deep despair and secrecy. In 2021, Melinda French Gates became one of the most talked-about figures in the world after she and her husband, Bill Gates, announced their divorce. What followed was a flood of public revelations that hinted at a much darker and more complex side to their marriage. In her memoir, Melinda opened up about the years of emotional strain she faced, revealing that she had often felt trapped and neglected. What shocked readers the most, however, was her admission that she had been aware of Bill's complicated and questionable ties to controversial figures, particularly the notorious financier Jeffrey Epstein. While Melinda maintained that she had done her best to remain focused on philanthropy and raising their children, her book exposed the tension that existed in her marriage for years. It raised questions about the true dynamics between the Gateses, beyond their public charitable work. Fans were left stunned by the revelation that behind their carefully curated public image, there were deep-seated issues that went far beyond what anyone had ever suspected. Melinda's decision to open up about her marriage was both empowering and shocking, giving the world a glimpse into the personal battles she faced while being married to one of the most powerful men in the world. Was Melinda really living a fairy tale life behind the scenes, or was she constantly struggling with the dark truths hidden from the public eye? Humphrey Bogart was the quintessential tough guy, a charismatic, hard-boiled star who defined the noir era of Hollywood. But beneath the tough exterior and legendary roles in films like Casablanca and The Maltese Falcon, Bogart's private life was full of drama and hidden tensions. One of the most shocking aspects of Bogart's secret life was his affair with a famous actress that lasted for several years, despite his marriage to Lauren Bacall. This affair, though whispered about in Hollywood circles, remained under wraps for much of his life. Additionally, Bogart had a complicated relationship with alcohol, something that many of his co-stars noticed but few dared to speak about. His dependency on booze reportedly led to violent outbursts and erratic behavior, something that stood in stark contrast to the suave, confident image he projected on screen. Even more unsettling was Bogart's rumored ties to organized crime figures, which many insiders believe helped boost his career at key moments. The shocking truth was that Bogart was much more than the tough guy persona he portrayed. His private life was full of secrets, and many of the demons that haunted him on screen also plagued him off camera. Sophie Turner, the Game of Thrones star who was once seen as the Golden Girl of Hollywood, shocked fans when she began posting cryptic messages on social media in 2020. Her seemingly perfect life with husband Joe Jonas was starting to unravel in front of the world's eyes. It all started with rumors that Sophie had been secretly involved with another high-profile actor while still married to Jonas. While Turner denied the affair, several insiders claimed that the couple had been struggling with trust issues for years, exacerbated by Sophie's rising fame and Joe's increasing public appearances. Fans were stunned when Sophie and Joe announced a break from social media, a move that only deepened the speculation about their relationship. But what really raised eyebrows was Sophie's Instagram, where she began sharing messages that hinted at her desire for personal freedom and independence, something she had apparently been denied during her relationship. Could Sophie Turner have been leading a double life, balancing her Hollywood persona with a longing for freedom? The more she posted, the more questions arose about the true nature of her marriage and the hidden side of her life that fans didn't know. Was her marriage to Joe Jonas all that it seemed? Or was there something far more complicated at play? Joan Crawford is remembered as one of the most glamorous and iconic stars of her era, but beneath the surface of her flawless image was a life filled with dark secrets. Crawford was known for her fiery temperament, and many stories about her behavior on set are legendary, but what was less known was the extent to which she controlled her personal relationships. One of the most shocking revelations about Crawford was her relationship with her children, particularly her adopted daughter Christina, which was made public in Christina's memoir, Mommy Dearest. According to Christina, Joan was a cruel and abusive mother, often taking out her own frustrations on her children. But the dark secrets didn't end there. Crawford was rumored to be involved in several secret love affairs with powerful men in Hollywood, which were kept carefully hidden from the public. Despite her glamorous image, Joan's private life was full of manipulation, jealousy, and emotional abuse that remained concealed for much of her career. In the end, her public persona was carefully crafted to mask the deep, often painful truth of what lay behind the scenes. David Harbour, the star of Stranger Things, is known for his lovable and quirky persona, but his personal life has recently come under scrutiny. In 2020, Harbour was thrust into the spotlight once again after he posted a cryptic message on Instagram, leading to rumors that his marriage to singer Lily Allen was on the rocks. Though they had initially appeared to be the perfect couple, sources close to Harbour began to hint that the actor was involved with another actress. The rumors escalated when photos surfaced of Harbour and the actress in what appeared to be an intimate setting, with insiders suggesting that this was more than just a friendship. Fans were left stunned, as they had always seen Harbour as the down-to-earth guy with a strong commitment to his family. Yet, behind closed doors, his life seemed to be filled with secrets. In an exclusive interview, Harbour barely addressed the rumors, leading many to speculate that there was more to the story than he was willing to admit. Was his perfect public image all a facade? Or was David Harbour leading a secret life that even his fans couldn't have predicted? Judy Garland's name is synonymous with the magic of The Wizard of Oz and her rise to fame as a child star, but her secret life was full of struggles that few people knew about. Behind the scenes, Garland's battles with addiction, including alcohol and prescription pills, were well documented, though much of it was hidden from the public eye. The pressures of growing up in Hollywood and being thrust into the spotlight at such a young age took a toll on her mental health and relationships. What shocked many was Garland's secret marriages and turbulent romantic life. While she was married 5 times, her relationships often involved emotional abuse and betrayal, which was kept out of the public sight for many years. Her last marriage to actor Sid Luft, with whom she had 2 children, was especially difficult, with rumors swirling about Luft's controlling nature and Garland's own struggles with self-worth. Perhaps the most shocking secret was her financial troubles, which seemed to plague her throughout her career, despite her fame and wealth. At the time of her death, Garland was struggling both personally and professionally, and yet her passing was still met with disbelief. While many of the painful aspects of her life remained hidden, the stories of her battles with addiction and mental health struggles became a part of her legacy, revealing the depth of her internal turmoil beneath her bright, cheerful public image. Kristen Stewart became a household name through her portrayal of Bella Swan in the Twilight series, but behind her brooding on-screen persona, she led a life that was far from the perfect Hollywood fairy tale. Despite being in the public eye for years, Stewart always seemed to keep her private life closely guarded, until the 2012 scandal. It was revealed that Kristen had been involved in an affair with Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders while still in a relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson. The revelation shattered the image of the couple that fans had idolized. While Kristen publicly apologized, her career and reputation were left hanging by a thread. What followed were whispers of even deeper secrets, including her alleged involvement in secretive underground events during her time off set, where she was rumored to have indulged in risky behavior. Stewart later moved on with a few relationships that only seemed to attract more gossip, with some even speculating that she had kept her sexuality hidden for years. Kristen Stewart's ability to maintain a tough, no-nonsense image has certainly made her one of the most mysterious figures in Hollywood. But the more fans uncover, the clearer it becomes that Kristen Stewart's life is filled with secretive relationships, scandalous affairs, and a much darker side than anyone expected. Charlie Sheen has been no stranger to controversy, but his life took a shocking turn when he publicly revealed his HIV diagnosis in 2015. However, what followed was even more startling. It was uncovered that he had been hiding a secret life filled with wild parties, illegal activities, and relationships with several women who later accused him of exposing them to the virus without their knowledge. Sheen was once one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, but his erratic behavior and troubled personal life led to a very public fall from grace. His once glamorous career was marred by accusations of abuse, addiction, and dangerous behavior. In fact, it was reported that Charlie Sheen's downward spiral involved more than just partying. His lifestyle seemed to include links to shady figures and seedy underworld connections, all of which had been kept hidden from the public. Yet even after the HIV revelation, Sheen continued to maintain a defiant attitude, refusing to apologize to the women he had allegedly harmed. With countless scandals and lawsuits surrounding him, Charlie Sheen's secret life remains a web of intrigue, leaving fans to wonder how someone so famous and successful could fall so far from grace. Grace Kelly, the beautiful actress who became the Princess of Monaco, is often remembered for her fairy tale marriage to Prince Rainier III. But what many don't know is that Kelly's life before her royal title was filled with secrecy and scandal. Kelly's transition from Hollywood stardom to royalty was, at best, complicated. Despite her public persona as the epitome of grace and sophistication, Kelly's private life was marked by tumultuous relationships and inner conflict. Her relationship with Prince Rainier was arranged by both their families, but Kelly reportedly found herself deeply unhappy in the marriage, feeling trapped in the role of a princess. She was often seen struggling to balance her love for acting with her royal duties, and sources close to the couple suggest that her departure from Hollywood was not as voluntary as it seemed. Even more shocking was Kelly's secret battle with depression, which she kept hidden from the public. Friends and family have alluded to her growing emotional turmoil, but it wasn't until her tragic car accident in 1982 that the true extent of her struggles came to light. Despite the glamorous image Kelly portrayed, her secret life revealed a woman trapped in a world that was often at odds with her true desires, and her death further added to the sense of mystery surrounding her life. Tom Cruise has always been a figure of admiration, known for his daring stunts, dedication to his career, and larger-than-life persona. But underneath that polished exterior lies a secret life that most of his fans know little about. Cruise's deep connection to the Church of Scientology has long been the subject of media scrutiny, but what many don't know is how much control it allegedly had over his personal life. In the early 2000s, rumors swirled that Tom Cruise had been manipulated into a string of high-profile relationships, each one seemingly orchestrated by the church to further their agenda. These relationships, including his famous marriage to Katie Holmes, were believed to be orchestrated to maintain a certain public image of perfection for the actor. There are even reports suggesting that Cruise's past relationships were essentially arranged by Scientology leaders to bolster his status within the organization. But the real shocker came in 2012 when leaked documents suggested that Cruise had been pressured into severing ties with his own family due to their lack of support for Scientology. The more we look into Tom Cruise's private world, the more questions arise about how much control the Church of Scientology has over him, and how much of his image has been manufactured. Lindsay Lohan's rise to fame in the early 2000s seemed like a storybook tale, but her descent into scandal was one of the most publicized in Hollywood history. From a promising career as a child star to a troubled adulthood filled with rehab stints, legal battles, and erratic behavior, Lohan's life became a constant tabloid fixture. But behind the headlines was a darker side of Lindsay that few people knew about. In 2012, a shocking report revealed that Lohan had been secretly attending extravagant underground parties, where the young star was allegedly involved in illegal activities, including drug use and high-stakes gambling. Sources close to Lohan said she was trying to escape the pressures of her Hollywood career and turned to these parties as a way of coping. Despite multiple stints in rehab, Lohan's behavior continued to spiral out of control, and she was often seen in public in disheveled states. What was truly horrifying, however, was the extent of the lies that were revealed. Lohan's close friends eventually admitted that her public image was a carefully curated performance, masking the darker reality of her life. a life filled with reckless behavior, hidden addictions, and secretive parties where she was trying desperately to find an escape from her troubles. Justin Bieber was catapulted to fame as a teen idol, adored by millions for his charm and sweet persona. But beneath the polished image lay a much more troubling story. In his late teens, Bieber's behavior became erratic, with countless run-ins with the law, accusations of reckless driving, and rumors of drug use. But the real shocker came when it was revealed that Justin had been involved in a series of secretive relationships, some of which reportedly had serious consequences. A string of intimate encounters with fans and even other celebrities led to rumors of betrayal and exploitation, further tarnishing his once squeaky clean image. Bieber's life behind closed doors was filled with secretive parties, illicit substances, and even whispers of a dangerous influence from individuals in his inner circle. While his public persona remained carefully controlled, many insiders reveal that Bieber had been struggling with deep personal issues that pushed him further into rebellion. The shocking truth is that Justin's wild behavior was far from just a phase. It was a cry for help hidden beneath a life of fame, and constant public scrutiny. What's more shocking is that despite all the controversies, Bieber managed to salvage his career and continues to maintain his place in the public eye, all while keeping a large portion of his secret life hidden from fans. Rock Hudson's career as one of Hollywood's most beloved leading men was built on charm, good looks, and a public persona of heterosexual masculinity. But behind the facade, Hudson harbored a shocking secret. He was gay, a fact he kept hidden for most of his life, especially at the height of his career in the 1950s and 1960s. In an era when being openly gay in Hollywood could ruin a career, Hudson's relationships with women were staged to keep up appearances, though the truth about his sexuality was known to a select few. What shocked the world even more was the revelation of Hudson's HIV diagnosis in 1985, making him one of the first major celebrities to publicly acknowledge his illness. His death from AIDS in 1985 caused a media frenzy and brought attention to the HIV/AIDS epidemic in a way that few other public figures had before. While Hudson had carefully guarded his private life, his death forced Hollywood to confront issues of sexuality, illness, and stigma in a way that had not been done before. Despite the efforts to conceal his true self, Hudson's legacy remains an important part of both Hollywood and LGBTQ+ history, and his secret life continues to shape the way the entertainment industry views privacy and public personas. Demi Lovato's career has been one of immense talent, but also significant struggle. The singer and actress has openly battled with addiction, eating disorders, and mental health challenges throughout her life, but what many don't realize is the extent of the darker side of her journey. While many saw Lovato's rehab stints and social media posts about self-love, there were rumors about the singer being involved in dangerous and unhealthy situations in her personal life. She was linked to a hidden, destructive relationship in which she allegedly allowed herself to stay in a toxic, manipulative environment for years, all while trying to maintain a perfect image for the public. However, the truth behind this relationship was only revealed after Lovato's very public breakdown in 2018, when she suffered a drug overdose. What shocked fans even more was the revelation that Lovato had kept some of her most recent struggles hidden for years, choosing not to disclose how much control the toxic relationship had on her life. It became clear that Demi's public recovery was a brave face for a much more difficult and ongoing battle that was kept out of the spotlight. Today, Lovato continues to break her silence about the painful secrets she once kept hidden, and the journey continues to unfold in unexpected and heartbreaking ways. Britney Spears' story is one of the most tragic yet captivating tales in Hollywood. Once the queen of pop, her public meltdown in 2007 sent shockwaves through the media, but behind the headlines, there was far more at play than anyone realized. While the world watched as Spears struggled with mental health issues, a conservatorship was quietly put in place, essentially giving her father control over her finances and personal life. What was kept hidden from the public eye, however, was the abusive nature of this arrangement and the years of control and manipulation she allegedly endured. Behind the scenes, Spears was allegedly subjected to psychological abuse by those closest to her, including her father, who many believe exploited her vulnerability for his own gain. But the horrors didn't stop there. Rumors swirled that Spears was kept under constant surveillance, her every move monitored by a team of professionals. While the media painted a picture of a troubled star, the reality was that Spears' every decision was dictated by her conservatorship. As the Free Britney movement gained momentum, it became clear that Britney Spears' story was far darker than anyone could have imagined, and the truth of what happened behind the scenes still remains a topic of public fascination and controversy. Megan Fox's rise to fame was meteoric, thanks in large part to her role in Transformers. But behind the cameras, Fox was dealing with a much more sinister side of Hollywood than anyone realized. She was often portrayed as the sex symbol in her early career, but in interviews, Fox hinted at feeling deeply uncomfortable with the image the media had forced upon her. It was later revealed that Fox had been systematically mistreated by some of Hollywood's most powerful players. One of the most shocking secrets that surfaced was the truth about how Fox was allegedly manipulated by director Michael Bay during the filming of Transformers. The incidents of exploitation and belittling reportedly left Fox with a deep sense of distrust towards the industry. But the true horror was not just her mistreatment on set. It was the toxic relationships that she found herself in, including a secretive relationship with a prominent Hollywood actor that she was trying to keep out of the public eye. This relationship reportedly had a dark side, including emotional manipulation, which left Fox questioning her own self-worth. Even as Fox stepped away from the limelight, the mysteries surrounding her secretive past continued to make her one of Hollywood's most enigmatic figures. Bette Davis was known for her fierce attitude and commanding presence, both on and off the screen. But behind the tough exterior, Davis harbored some shocking secrets about her personal life. Perhaps most surprising was her complex relationship with her daughter Bede Hyman, which was marked by emotional turmoil and a deep sense of resentment. In Hyman's controversial memoir, My Mother's Keeper, she described her mother's harshness and emotional abuse, revealing a side of Bette Davis that was rarely seen in public. Davis was also known for her competitive nature, especially when it came to her female co-stars and the lengths she would go to in order to maintain her position at the top of Hollywood. Davis had many secrets, including secretive affairs that were hidden from the public eye, including one with a famous actor during her marriage to another Hollywood legend. Her personal life was often filled with intense drama, leading many to wonder how much of her fiery personality was a result of her own struggles with loneliness and unfulfilled desires. Yet perhaps the most shocking secret was Davis's growing isolation as she aged. Despite her fame, she was often alone, and in her later years, she struggled with financial difficulties and declining health, a stark contrast to her earlier years of Hollywood dominance. Kanye West has been a polarizing figure in the entertainment world for years, known for his musical genius as much as his controversial antics. However, what many don't know is that West has lived a secret life filled with deeply troubling behavior that has often been swept under the rug by those around him. In addition to his outbursts on social media and controversial public statements, rumors began to surface about West's involvement in strange, eccentric, and sometimes downright alarming behavior off camera. There were whispers that West had been secretly involved in high-stakes business dealings and underground events, where he rubbed elbows with individuals in more nefarious circles. Perhaps even more shocking was the claim that West's behavior had been manipulated for years by those seeking to use him for their own benefit. His troubled marriage to Kim Kardashian, often portrayed as a perfect Hollywood love story, was also far from the image it presented to the public. Behind closed doors, their relationship was reportedly strained by West's secrecy, mood swings, and unpredictable actions. His secretive life was shrouded in mystery, and many believe that the Kanye West we see today is a far cry from the man who once dominated the music world with his unapologetic brilliance. Marilyn Monroe's life has always been one of the most intriguing and tragic stories in Hollywood history. Her public persona of the seductive, fun-loving blonde bombshell was a stark contrast to the secret life she led behind closed doors. Monroe struggled with a deeply troubled childhood, including foster homes, and the wounds from her past followed her into adulthood. As one of the most photographed women in the world, her personal life was under constant scrutiny. But what the public didn't know was just how much of her pain was hidden behind that iconic smile. Monroe was involved in numerous secretive, often fleeting relationships with some of Hollywood's most powerful figures, both celebrities and political elites. Rumors swirled about her alleged affairs with the Kennedy brothers, a topic that has remained a source of speculation for decades. Yet the most shocking aspect of Monroe's secret life was her battle with mental health and addiction, something she fought in silence for most of her life. While many knew of her struggles, few understood the depth of her pain or the true extent to which it affected her career and personal relationships. Monroe's untimely death in 1962, which has been surrounded by conspiracy theories ever since, only deepened the mystery of her secret life. Was she truly a tragic figure, or did her death hide something darker that still hasn't been fully uncovered? These stars may have dazzled us on screen, but their hidden lives reveal a whole new side of Hollywood. Some secrets are never fully uncovered, but one thing's for sure, these celebrities will never be forgotten. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more shocking celebrity stories.